Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Tflame and Pwndnoob just finished up their draft. We're going to kick it over to Manatters and Dells again to review that right before they start.
All right, let's take a look at it. I believe everyone is already familiar with Tflame. We just saw him in the match against Yeesh a couple hours ago. Pwndnoob had a journey here facing against Caudy and Rov, winning both of those sets 7-3. It was really the high rise against Rov that did it for him. So I wonder if he's going to go with more of that today. So we have bans from Tflame. It's going to be Library. From Pwndnoob is going to be banning Redwoods. I understand the Library ban from Tflame. I mean, that does seem like sort of a time ad paradise, and I think it's a map that Pwndnoob is pretty comfortable with. Banning Redwoods from Pwndnoob is interesting. Tflame has been picking Redwoods a lot recently, right?
Yeah, he's picked it in. I think his past like 5 or 6 competitive sets, he's been doubling it, and he plays it all the time casually. I don't know if there's other bans against T-Flame that are better. I know that Aqua's a big venue that T-Flame likes to play. So's Ballroom, but both of those Pwndnoob's comfortable on, so not worried about it.
Yeah, and yeah, T-Flame just doubled Redwoods earlier and went 1-3 on it. Of course, Pwn was casting that match, so Pwn has seen some T-Flame up close right about now. So maybe he'll be more ready for some of T-Flame's tricks here since he just saw what worked against Yeesh. So for the restrictions, we have T-Flame restricting pub, Pwndnoob restricting balcony. T-Flame was just saying in chat that he was going to give us more balcony, so I think Pwndnoob took him at his word, which was the right choice. The doubled picks, T-Flame is doubling Tayen and Pwndnoob is doubling Modern. That's what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's really surprising to me. I mean, Pwnoob, whenever he gets the chance, pretty much will double Tayen. That's like the Pwnoob venue of choice. And then Modern, I think, is one of T Flame's like most comfortable and most played venues, both casually and competitively. So that's pretty surprising to me to see those picks in that order. It's not surprising to see them, but it is in this order.
So maybe we'll see some 3-1s on the opponent's doubled pick. And
It's quite
then T-Flame going with that single pick of Balcony, just like he promised us, and Pwndnoob is rounding it out with some Gallery.
yeah, I like this. We get a couple venues we haven't seen today. Actually, 3 of them, I think. We haven't seen Tayen, Modern, or Gallery today.
Well, we didn't see very much in that last set at all. It was over so quickly. I won't lie, though. I'm down to see more Balcony. Those Balcony games were pretty exciting. Anyway, there's your draft. The players are in the lobby. They are ready to go live whenever we give them the cue.
Yep, it looks like first spy is going to be T Flame on Tayen here. And it is SEL 6 Tayen. I know we've been seeing some Summer Cup recently, which has more guests, but this is the 12 guest Tayen, which is a little bit more sniper friendly.
Yeah, I like how we have people coming into the chat and seeing T-Flame here in the semifinals and being like, wait, this means T-Flame beat Yeesh. So if you missed it, sorry to spoil it for you, but of course we do have to we do have to keep on going with the tournament. But yes, T-Flame beat Yeesh. It was a very fantastic set. Would definitely recommend everyone going back and watching it. But for now, it is T-Flame versus Pwndnoob, and we have our first game on Tayen loaded up and ready to go. Let's get started here with T-Flame playing as Red Dress in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
This is a pretty interesting shoji setup to start off this match. We're AI controlled right now, actually. That's maybe more interesting to talk about. T Flame is not taking control.
That is interesting. I didn't think T-Flame was known for AI controlling.
No, I mean, we were talking about just before the draft that T Flame is really good at paying attention to the party and figuring out who suspects can be and trying to frame them. He did it really well against Yeesh in his last set. Um, and if you're not even having to do any actions, it becomes much easier to watch the party.
Yeah, I mean, Tayen is a good place to go for frames. It's a little worse for it with only 12 guests, but T-Flame is eventually going to be taking control here, entering next to our seduction target. We do want to be able to do missions. We were also in a pretty good bug spot there, but we were in the middle of our talk animation, so couldn't take it.
Yeah, so it looks like Tflamee's plan there was actually just stay under AI control until I can land next to my seduction target and start that flirt with a 51%.
Okay, here's the ambassador back at green, passing by us again, but he takes the path behind the conversation, still not able to get the bug. We've taken an innocent drink now as well, so we're definitely looking pretty AI like. There's absolutely no reason to be suspicious of us right now. The question is, does Pwndnoob have any other suspects? There is a Smallman. There is a Smallman with a highlight, but that could just be to watch Smallman.
Yeah, there's also a Smallman that just got an extremely easy bug on the ambassador as he cut through that conversation right in front of us. If we were Smallman.
So basically, what you're saying is all we need is to do a contact and have Smallman go to center statues, and he could get shot.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
Or
every TM game.
if I'm not sure where the briefcase is right now, if it's at those back books, but if we can get Smallman to go get that briefcase, he might look like he's trying to transfer this book that's from the front bookshelf.
Geez, we've picked up a highlight solely for changing conversations and flirting. Wow.
I'm thinking that Noob has us paired with Queen since we entered next to her both times.
Flirt pairing on Taeyen. Who would have known? Whatever Pwndnoob is suspicious of, though, we're basically just locking that suspicion in by immediately going to center statues. Can we inspect them all before putting the statue down? We cannot risk an animation break there, and we got a slight animation break because of the ambassador holding that statue next to us. If Pwndnoob was watching, that would be death. But so far, we are still alive.
So it looks like he was watching. His camera snapped extremely fast to Tflamee's head there. I think that he did see the animation break as we set down that statue. He just knows that all we've done is those statues and flirt, and we've had a couple bug opportunities that we probably didn't take. But regardless, that is not missions.
In that case, a shot could come off immediately on the banana bread. The laser is lining up. The laser saw us talking. It was waiting for the banana bread. Pwndnoob knew it was coming, and there's the shot. Shot for a flirt pair. That is a very strong start here for Noob.
Yeah, I mean, he accrued a lot of suspicion from that flirt pair, I think, but I think that Pwndnoob for sure saw him set down that statue wrong.
Yeah, very scary for Tflameee. I mean, this is sort of the same thing that we saw Legorv do to Lazy Bear yesterday. This is a very strong shot. I mean, for Tflameee, all he did was flirt. Yes, in the end, he did the animation break, but when he looks at the replay, he's going to see that he got highlight for the flirt. And that's just incredibly dangerous. I mean, if as a spy you're scared to flirt, then you'll be scared to do basically everything.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw that actually from both players in that set with Legorv and Lazy Bear that all of a sudden the flirts really slowed down once those early shots were happening.
All right, that's the first point here for Pwndnoob, and now Pwndnoob is going to be spying here as Teal. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And we have Dave Goes Deep in chat asking, didn't the BB go off? Yeah, I think the BB went off. At least on our screen, the shot came after the words banana bread were uttered. But you don't know. There is a little bit of latency between the spy and the sniper, so it's possible that Noob was taking the shot before he heard the BB, but either way, the laser snapped over to us as soon as we started talking. So he knew we were the spy, and he was just waiting for it either way.
Yeah, I mean, he was shot right after the BB, but that doesn't mean he wasn't shot for the other things. That was just the confirmation and the mission counting that he needed.
Ooh, Ambassador enters right next to us here in conversation, and we get the reverse drive-by bug. With how much cover there is here, we can barely even see Teal's head, let alone her arms. So I think that we've gotten away with that bug. The only thing Tflameee can do is suspect it, credit it because of where we were. But we've been standing there for a while. It's not like we put ourselves in a position next to the Ambassador. He came to us.
Yeah, he came to us, which obviously happens a ton on Taeyen because the ambassador has to move all the time. But that back spot when the Shojis are all on the left again, the ambassador doesn't have to path that close to you very often. So it's not a huge buggable spot with this setup.
Nope, we got the contact now. The only low light taken by the sniper was Ponytail over here at the bookcase on the left. Green Dress looks like she was in the middle of doing some print action, but she doesn't have a low light, so Presumably, she was still in for the BB, or so Tflame thinks. Only one low light, pretty good for the banana bread. My worry is with the flirt, but luckily we hit a green test, so it's up to 51%. We had that time ad earlier, so we've got plenty of time left here.
Yeah. So it looks like Checker in the recent update definitely implemented the mirror last game, mirror last shoji update, because we got the same one twice in a row.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even know where that was on the developmental priorities list.
It's absolutely not true. I'm trolling.
What? Oh, what? What? So Pwndnoob is over here at the statues, and don't embarrass me. That's one inspect done.
Oh, that entry's suspect. And I don't think Tflame likes it either. He is watching for the bugs at the back bookshelf from Alice, but she's a low light for BB, so you don't have to be too suspicious of her.
Nope, there's another flirt now. The flirt bar is up to 100%. We did pick up a highlight for those statues. The first thing we did after getting the highlight is enter the conversation in a pretty forced manner, canceling away from the briefcase there, but I don't think we wanted it at all. We wanted to go over to the inspects.
Oh no.
This is going to be the moment of truth. If Tflame is suspicious of us, this is when you have to shoot. You know she's finishing the inspects. The laser is moving over to us. It's considering it. Tflame is holding it, maybe watching for a swap. He's got 10 seconds to make a choice. He wants to. The safety comes off, and he does indeed decide to take the shot. Score is now tied up 1-1.
And I think that's a huge throw there from Pwndnoob, because I think that if we pick up any other statue on the venue, we do not get shot there. But that's the only fingerprintable statue.
Yeah, I mean, does Tflame have the print count? Because we didn't have another print. We didn't actually get to that briefcase. But if you think you might have missed one at any point, the fingerprintable statue does give you more of a reason to go through with the shot. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have great vision on Teal for the start of that venue, or for the start of that game. So, I mean, there's obviously a possibility that a bug got through, because one did, but there's also a possibility you missed a drink print at the start of the game somehow. So, I think, man, you got to pick up a different statue than that one.
Yeah, I mean, it is very unfortunate when that happens to a spy. They don't know where the prints are, and so they accidentally take one that they didn't want to. But it just goes to show you the importance of watching the party as the spy. It's not just so that you can plan the moves you do want to do, it's so that you can also make sure you don't accidentally do things that you don't want to do.
Absolutely.
So, score is 1-1. Tflame going to be having another spy game here as Plane Twin. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, planet.
I like this. This is my favorite spy shoji setup, I think. This is
Are we going to do a book cheese? Are we doing a book cheese behind the shoji? No, we're not. We take control from the AI. Oh man, if the ambassador wasn't there, we could have just walked that book right over, but looks like that's not in the cards for us today.
Yeah, when you can implement microfilm into your Taiyan spy game, I think that completely changes it for you, because a lot of the times the sniper does not have to watch microfilm on Taiyan.
Well, our seduction target is picking herself up a highlight for going to do early inspects. She's definitely someone to keep an eye on. Could get herself shot if she has a bug opportunity and a contact. We are in a bug position here, but the ambassador's not going to be coming. Toby is walking around here. We did request a drink. We might want to purloin. It's so crowded back here, it would be very hard for Pwndnoob to see it. And we do indeed hit the green purloin. The ambassador was being watched because Ponytail was doing a briefcase, and of course he's in the middle of a crowded conversation, and suddenly the list is gone. Pwndnoob notices it. The first thing he does is take the low light on Ponytail. She was doing the briefcase. We know it couldn't have been her, but could be anyone in that back conversation. I don't think Pwndnoob is really going to be able to narrow this down a ton.
Yeah, that's huge on Taiyan when you can get a purloin through and the party isn't super narrowed down. We have now rejected drinks twice, which against Pwndnoob is very scary. But to have a mission showing it's complete, that means that a BB becomes all the more powerful. It means that any AI going to statues becomes all the more powerful. And then it means that dangerous positions from the AMBA become even more powerful too.
Yeah, and I just don't think Pwndnoob was paying that much attention to the back conversation or Toby, so I don't know if he knows about the 2 rejects. I don't know if he has the purloin narrowed down at all. The laser certainly hasn't been giving us any hints. There's only one highlight, and it's general. At the very least, we thought we could have maybe seen highlights on everyone in that back conversation, but just nothing here from Pwndnoob. Real contact is going to be coming
Sending in the
off.
red.
General is in the conversation, and the safety does come off on General. We have to take this drink or reject it. It's always scary when you're in the middle of your talk animation and Toby's behind you.
Yeah, and I think that it is more subtle to reject a drink after a white BB than it is to take the drink after the white BB. But like I said, it's scary to be doing such spy-like things against Pwndnoob.
Well, General had the safety taken off on him, but there was no shot. That means if you don't lose the game in 10 seconds, that means General's not done, and you don't have to shoot him unless he does something else. So Tflame really needs General to leave. We do go to the back conversation. We do get the bug there on the ambassador. Doesn't look like it was being watched at all. And now, if no civilian is going to be shot, we need to finish with the flirt instead. But Pwndnoob is able to take the highlight on the twin here for the flirt. Now it's suddenly very, very dangerous for Tflame. If he leaves and returns over here next to Ponytail, I think Pwndnoob is going to be on top of it.
Yeah, it's actually, I'm surprised that Pwndnoob didn't shoot him just for that enter and talk, because Twin's been going back and forth between conversations quite a bit. And
Oh boy, entering and talking immediately. Pwndnoob hates it. The safety comes off. I think he's
Oh,
just
he
waiting a
can't
few
shoot him.
more seconds to decide if he's going to take the shot, and he does take it.
Yeah, I think he just didn't want to miss shoot onto General there. Twin has some rocking back and forth in his talking animation, so he swings to the other side and shoots the shoes. And if Warning Track's in chat, he knows what kind of shoes those are.
Yeah, and we have Kuma Kid in chat making a very correct observation here. The problem is no one else is the spy.
No one else is.
General was the only highlight, but General hadn't moved in a minute, so we were the only person doing spy-like things. And if you just go and look back through, the last minute of this, it's just like the ambassador's going to statues, some people who are already lowlights are moving around, and everyone else is just in conversation. We're like the only person who's moving around and doing things, so it's sort of bad party luck there, especially because we got away with that purloin, and I think we got away with the bug too. It wasn't seen, so.
Yeah, it was double zoomed in on for the lean, and I still think that it wasn't really that suspicious in Pwndnoob's mind. It was just having to rush those flirts at the end that really got him shot.
Yeah, Pwndnoob, I mean, obviously remembered that the twin was in a buggable position. That's probably why he was able to take the highlight just for moving around, but he definitely didn't see the moment of the bug with any certainty. It
For
was a
sure.
pretty good spy game. I mean, a really good spy game. If the party had just had a little bit more movement there, if General had gone and done something, if we'd hit a green flirt or two, would have made all the difference. But unfortunately, didn't happen. And now Pwndnoob is in the lead again. Tflame's going to have to take the correct shot here in order to hold on to it. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
We're starting as pearls, and we're getting offered right away. So we're getting a green purloin right off the bat.
Yep, that's a green
and
purloin,
we got
and that's a highlight. Yep,
so
Tflame noticed it. He saw the reject. He knows a purloin is possible. We just entered the bookcase next to the ambassador. We took a bug. Purloin hasn't even gone off. Tflame was so on top of all of that.
So Spy gets shot for 4 games on Tayen, but it's really seemed like the shots from Tflame were just a little bit scarier, maybe for Pwndnoob.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we said, on Redwoods yesterday. And that was that actually a wrong arm bug on the ambassador there? Wow, I'm surprised we were able to get that from that walking path angle.
I'm surprised that Tflame was looking for it or saw it, because he was swinging around, it looked like, to see who the second rejector was. Because Smallman was back there and a couple other people were back there in the back conversation too. But as soon as that bug happened, he just snapped over and shot him.
There's like a slight movement of Pearls' wrong arm, but I don't even know if you could even tell that it's different than just the normal walking and stopping animation. But I mean, sometimes you just know when a spy is rushing. When you see someone reject a drink from Toby there at the back and then immediately enter next to the ambassador, you're like, yeah, I've seen a rush before. I know what you're doing. And you can really make a statement by taking that shot there.
Yeah, absolutely, and just put a little bit of the fear into the mind of the spy. I love it.
All right, then. So it's tied up heading into Modern. I wouldn't be surprised to see these ties continue. These sniper games have been on point, and if your sniper's on point, Modern is a venue where you can just trade those sniper wins. Tflame going to be starting off here as General. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Now, I do think Tflame has some liberty here to start going for some more experimental plays. Pwndnoob has just been really on top of the sniper here, and at least in my mind, when you know that your sniper is that strong, you might as well try for doing some clever plays. You might as well try taking some risks, because you know that if you just play a straightforward spy game, it's not going to work out for you. So I'm looking to see some fun new strategies here from Tflame.
Yeah, the straightforward spy game. I think that basically as soon as you get out of like low to medium level of play, it just goes completely out the window because snipers are so good that you're just going to get caught on everything. Speaking of getting caught on things, that path from Rocker was very bizarre. She was headed to that left statue and then just 90-degree turn decided to go to the right one.
Ooh, Salmon redirecting away from that briefcase. But Salmon gets a highlight for redirecting away from the briefcase. Very interesting.
Yeah, we're getting some wizardry highlights from Pwndnoob, but they're not correct so far. Oh, that one's going to be correct.
Wait, what just happened there? I was looking away for a moment and I missed it.
Uh,
Tflame is shaking the camera. What did I miss?
yeah, Tflame also missed it was the problem. He went in front of Salmon for a really cool AI path to the bar, but then missed the pad.
Oh no. That's unfortunate.
And the laser went right over and highlighted him, so I'm not expecting this to go very well for Tflame.
No, I mean, it feels awful when it happens to you, but making one small mistake like that, missing one pad, breaking one animation, that can just be it for you. That can just lose you the spy game instantly. So Tflame is really walking on eggshells at this point.
That was a really weird bend over from General right there to get that briefcase.
Yeah,
It looked very bizarre.
yeah, we kind of rammed our head into the counter there.
It did a little bit of a spine twist and slammed into the counter. Just the General has had a little bit too much at this party.
All right. So what's going to be happening next now? We have the fingerprint, we have the delegate option, but I think Tflame knows that he picked up that highlight for the missed pad, so I don't think he's going to want to fire it off. We can enter here, and even though red dress is between us, I think we're close enough to the seduction target, but the seduction target leaves, so we're not going to be able to get the flirt after all. Only 90 seconds left, and I have to say, this spy game is starting to look just a little bit doomed for failure.
Yeah, we don't get the Perlin off. We don't get the flirt at the bar or in that conversation. So we're just going to go get a print off this book and finish our prints before, I'm assuming, getting shot for literally anything.
Salmon came to us.
Yeah, very kind there. He feels bad, and we still get shot just for book animations.
Well, at least we have Salmon.
Yeah, that missing a pad at the bar on Modern just really rough because it's just so visible, especially such a huge character.
I mean, what even is the mission count there? I guess the mission count doesn't matter. You know it's Prince. You know that he could be done flirt. Maybe you missed a bug. Who knows? You're sure it's the spy. You take the shot. So there is another sniper win for us. And now we're going to be seeing Pwndnoob here spying as Tex, also known as Cowboy. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, planet.
Yeah, a lot of people will tell you that his initials are SP because his belt buckle has the initials SP on it. I think that that's more of a reference to the fact that this is SpyParty, but I do like that canon.
Well, all we are is alone over here in this conversation. Not much going on at this point. Spy camera is at this very view from above here, so I can't quite tell what we're looking at. Maybe we're just looking at the seduction target, but I would think we would be looking more at the rest of the party.
Yeah, the party which is very much outside. You don't usually see this early on, I don't think, on Modern. You usually see a couple more people at the bar, and you usually see more people in that conversation that Sick and Queen are in right now.
Oh no! The ST, we wanted to join her over at the bookcase, but she just took the book and ran away with it. I don't think she even did a single cycle with it.
Yep, something that Pearls is known to do on occasion. Just go ahead and zero cycle that book and run away. Well, walk very slowly away, but we do get a green microfilm while the camera's moving, though, so that's pretty good. And a nice redirect.
Yeah. That is a very nice redirect. That looked very, very natural. I don't know how much Tflame cares about it. The timing of the microfilm is interesting because, of course, if you're watching that shelf as the sniper, Tflame's priority may have been Pearls rather than Tex. Pearl's doing a very nice path to return it over here to the green bookcase, bumping herself into Ponytail along the way. Could get herself removed from that highlight. Doesn't look like it, though. My God, we're really watching for that microfilm. We're watching so closely.
Yeah, so Tflame, I think, sees that zero cycle. So really suspicious of Pearls, but he now knows for sure that she's not the spy, and I think he knew for sure that she didn't microfilm before that. So I think that Pearls might have earned a low light there anyway, but only one real conversation there for that BB, as Rocker was walking around and Sari was alone in the far conversation.
Yeah, and even though we left as quickly as we could afterwards, I don't think it was quite a split. It was just, getting out of there because we wanted to go do other things. Tflame still caught it. And if you just trust your real BB highlights here, you have it narrowed down to, I guess, about 6 people. That's going to make it very hard to finish the microfilm and just finish missions in general. I mean, we don't even have any flirts.
Yeah, finishing Modern without flirts is like nigh impossible, it usually feels like, because finishing Modern with flirts usually is very hard.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Because Tflame took those real BB highlights, he knows that Tex was the first one to leave after the BB. He knows it was sort of a split, sort of an early departure. And now Tex is the one who's moving around doing things. So if Tex goes for that second microfilm, I think it's going to be watched for. I think it's going to be very hard for Pwndnoob to win. The only good news is there are a lot of other highlights. 6 real BB highlights is still a pretty big number, so we have some cover in this party, but not feeling Pwndnoob's chances are great.
Yeah, it seems like Tflame doesn't like wheels right now, but I think that you probably could have low-lit Irish Mom and Alice, because they stayed in that BB conversation for another minute and a half after it came off.
Oh, we're watching this microfilm so closely. Pwndnoob knows that we're watching it. The laser is literally resting on us. There is no opportunity for the microfilm. Tflame is zooming in. Pwndnoob does it anyway, even with the laser right on him. I think he might have been calling Tflame's bluff. He might have been saying, you know what, your laser is right on me. Maybe you're actually watching something else and you're putting it there just to make me think you're watching me. And the other thing is, if you don't do the microfilm at that point, how else are you going to finish with 30 seconds left? So I think Pwndnoob felt he just had to go for it.
Yeah, it's wow. Just to be that confident in staring at that microfilm when there's a whole other party going on is pretty impressive. Luckily, the Ambo was really safe. He was at bar, but Pwndnoob has a really good play to get both of those action tests on the flirt to finish that up when it looked like he had no chance of getting the flirt. And he hits both green action test microfilms, but just Tflame is just staring at it.
Yeah, I think it's really just what I said. I mean, if he didn't do the microfilm there, he would have 30 seconds to finish flirt, fingerprint, and another mission. There was no way. So I think he felt he just had to go for it. And I think it was the best play overall. You just hope that maybe the laser is resting there for some other reason. And so the sniper party continues. The score is now tied up 3-3. Tflame going to be spying here as queen. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. And to answer a question from chat, we had DLGN asking if there's a common meta for picking your spy. So for those who don't own the game, the way it works is when you go into the game, it will automatically have all of the characters chosen, the spy, the double agent, the ambassador, etc. And then you can move them around as you like. Now, there are some spies who are known as being a little bit stronger. Usually it's the characters who are quicker. Ponytail is a very quick one. President Taft is another very quick one. The twins are very quick. That's generally a category that makes people want to pick those spies, but there are a few others. There are people who have good microfilm animations, for example. Their head turns slightly less. There are people with good bugging animations. For example, Kane. the man with the cane. That's why we call him Cane. If he does a bug with the hand that his cane is in, it's very hard to see it while he's walking because it just kind of looks like the normal animation of, using your cane arm to walk. So some people you can actually read into their choices a bit. Pearls, Orange Sorry, they're very slow, so people might not want to pick them on a big venue like this. I hope it's okay to be going on about character picks. There's really not much else going on in this party. We've just been
I'm,
flirting.
I'm just disappointed that there's a very small character you're missing out on his strengths and weaknesses.
Oh yeah, Smallman. Yes. Smallman is. Oh my God, we picked up a low light.
Yeah, just for doing nothing, man. Nothing has been happening at this party. We have a flirt, and that's it. We have a red book.
But yeah, Smallman is definitely the biggest sort of, in the Mafia community, we call it YFOM, like wine in front of me thing from Princess Bride. There's very much a lot of like, Smallman is the best character, so you would want to pick him as the spy, but everyone knows Smallman is the best character, so you know that I'm going to want to pick Smallman, so maybe I shouldn't pick Smallman. But he's so small that you just won't notice him sometimes if he does things behind other people, so he's just a strong spy anyway.
This BB is interesting. It was not a very good one. There was a lot of people moving around, and it looks like Pwndnoob got all of them except for maybe one because they all landed in conversations like immediately. But he still got a bunch of those lowlights.
Well, Tflameee is a low light now. The contact is done. The flirt is at 68%. We've got this lovely, lovely book here, which we are going to be returning here to the blue bookcase.
Yep, getting a mission done here as a low light, and it's after the BB. So against a player like Pwndnoob, you know that low lights are going to happen. And if you can get a BB with, honestly, not a very good BB that gets quite a few low lights, instantly those are all mixed up in Pwndnoob's mind.
Yeah, Chad is correcting me. I should have said the social deduction community rather than the Mafia community in general.
Oh, I thought you meant literally the Mafia community.
What?
Like actual mobsters is what I thought you meant.
That could be what some other people thought. Anyway, shot comes off on Irish. That's fine. We were a low light. We were gonna win that anyway.
Yeah, that was just the character that Pwndnoob adjusted his lights on the most, and I know that Pwndnoob will say that if he's messing with a character's lights the most, that's usually the spy.
Well, Tflameee, I mean, I don't know. Would we have finished? We did just do that briefcase without getting the fingerprint. We needed to finish the flirt. We needed one more mission. I'm sure we would have finished at that point. And Irish looks like she was completing inspects at that point, and I'm sure she had another mission. So there we go. That's the first spy win of the afternoon. And that means that for the first time, Tflameee is the one in the lead. Usually it's been Pwndnoob who gets a lead of 1 point because he sniped first and it's been all sniper wins. But now all Tflameee needs to do is win this sniper game to God, what's the term? Match serve, win serve, win yeah.
Break serve?
Break serve. That's break. That's what I was thinking of. Pwndnoob here playing as Duke. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, always interesting to see when the overcat is down a point, and they're.
Why is Tflameee waving the sniper laser around?
I don't know. I think he saw the. I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
Was it for take control? Did we have a bad take control? No, Pwndnoob's take control looks really good. So whatever Tflameee was shaking the laser for, it's a mystery to us.
Yeah, it wasn't like the ambassador was really buggable. He's standing out here at windows, really safe. And then all 3 people at bar got highlit, which I think was just for bar. So I have no idea what was happening. Maybe Tflameee just, like, his cat attacked him or something.
That is possible. That is always possible. Ooh, we're going for a bug? No, we're not. Oh, God, that's a very, very suspicious entrance there if you're not taking the bug with it.
Man, as Duke, though, his arms would have been very visible, and Tflameee knows he didn't bug. That can earn a low light against some people, like me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you should have ever gone for the bug in that situation at all. I don't even know if there was any sort of laser angle that would have been good for it. Shamuni's asking what happened when I wasn't watching. We entered the conversation next to that ambassador, and we just like completely forced ourselves into him, curved around him as we were entering, as if we were going to be taking a bug, but we didn't take the bug. So it just looked very suspicious. And now it's 2 minutes 30 left on the clock, and basically no missions done. And when I say basically, I mean like literally.
Yeah, at the basic level, there are no missions done.
Yeah, figuratively, metaphorically, it's kind of like we've done nothing.
Oh, and I love this. So Tflame sees that those people that were at the bar early on have done nothing. Goes ahead and just switches up his highlights to the people he knows have half inspects. And gonna get a lot of lowlights too.
Yeah, so the contact pretty okay though. I mean, I'm seeing a decent number of people in conversations. There's at least a handful in each of them, so it wasn't a dire contact, but I mean, I don't think we can really finish from here, can we?
I mean, it would take a 2 flirt, a purloin, and a bug, or a book cheese. Like, it would take some pretty darn aggressive stuff, which looks like Pwndnoob is starting off by getting this delegate, but our ST isn't flirtable right now, so I'm thinking that it's going to be more of a frame game, and we're going to an empty conversation with this delegate.
Well, Alice Ponytail, rather, is going to be entering next to us. We could delegate to her immediately if that's our plan. She is a highlight, but no delegate going to be coming off. So I really don't know what the plan is. I don't think we'd be able to even make it to anyone else and delegate to them in time here.
Yeah, I mean, she is a pretty fast character. You can delegate to her pretty easily, but it's not going to be her anymore anyway. It would be Kane if we did it now, and it would have been Seek if we did it a couple seconds ago.
Seduction target entered next to us, but that's not going to be enough to get any flirt. So yeah, Kane entered next to us and we're going to the bar. We could fake some sort of delegate here, but I don't even... It just doesn't... I mean, if we take this list, I think we just die unless Tflame like really panics.
Yeah, I mean, Alice possibly could die. She came from the bar to us in that conversation, but I mean, we weren't next to her, but we are.
Wow. Yep. Tflame was on top of it. I mean, we were next to her for a while, but by the time we went to take the list, she just wasn't the one next to us. So
we've got a lead here, Dels. We've got a 5-3 for Tflame.
Yeah, and very surprising. Whatever Pwndnoob's plans were there, they just didn't pan out at all. Oh yeah, it's Seek. I wasn't even looking at Seek because he's a low light because he's a suspected double agent, but Pwndnoob didn't know that. So that's what the delegate frame was going for. Oh God, yes, Kuma Kid, you are right. It is balcony time. Balcony was our first single pick, wasn't it? Oh my God. Well, Tflame has the 5-3 lead. Let's hope he's not regretting the balcony choice right now because balcony could be a very good way to lose that lead.
Yeah, I think so too. That's the sort of fickle nature of that venue when you choose it and you feel like you're the underdog, and then you get to it and you have a lead, and all of a sudden you're just hitting yourself for picking such a swingy venue.
Well, let's see what happens. Could go 2-0 for Tflame and get him the win right here, or it could even the score back up. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I love this character selection. We've got short Amba, and then we've got Smallman and all the tallest, widest people.
So NVIDIA asking in chat, is Tflame the one with the high green action test rate? Well, earlier we were talking about Lazy Bear having a high green test rate, not Tflame. I'm not quite sure what Tflame's rate is.
Tflame's the one that cheats on the action test, right? He's got the other monitor that's widescreen, and he just has the action test just on that monitor.
You can't fool me again. You fooled me earlier with your Tien commentary about the shoji, but that's definitely not true. But you are referencing a conversation that came up because someone mentioned that Tflame was hitting a lot of greens. So I'm going to assume his green test rate is relatively high.
Yeah, I mean, he's at the level of current SCL players, which most of them are fairly consistent at getting around a 50% action test rate.
Oh my God, Legorv says Tflame actually has a 39% green test rate, so that's actually one of the lowest ones. But anyway, what's happening in this game? We're down to only 2 highlights remaining here, and we're going to still need 1 more flirt.
Yeah, we actually having one more flirt and still not the entire party low lit, it's not the worst spot to be in. General gets safetied off on. If he talks,
Well, if General is the top suspect, that would be good for us. We won't need to move to get another flirt as long as Smallman stays here, and talking again in, 10 seconds could look somewhat natural. We actually decide to leave, though. I wonder if that's a play to look less spy-like, because the spy would have just waited there.
ooh, watch check there. That takes up a lot of time if you're Taft. Oh,
I think we're trying to look not spy-like. General is talking right now. If we're suspicious of General, you have 10 seconds to take the shot. But
yeah.
the shot on General doesn't look like it's coming off after all. We are going to have to talk. We are going to have to go into overtime. And as a result, Pwndnoob is able to take the shot easily.
Yeah, really impressive there from Pwndnoob to not shoot General. Character that he safetied off on around 40 seconds ago, and then talks with 10 seconds left. That seems like an easy shot if you're the sniper.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very impressive hold there. I like what Tflame was going for. I wonder if it would have been better if we just stayed in the conversation and flirted when the timer was up, but it would have come up, in the last 10 seconds anyway. So I guess there would have been overtime either way. So I think leaving was an okay choice, but just didn't pan out. And now Pwndnoob is going to need to get this spy win to bring things back to a tie. Let's see if he can do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and we've got Prince on, which there's a print balcony game mode that has extra time, and it seems like Pwndnoob wishes he was playing that because he immediately white time adds.
Wow. Well, he's a low light already. He picked up a low light right at the start. So
yeah, we're bringing people up for talks. It seems like Lola at the entire party, and then Sari and Alice have both talked, so they both got neutral lit.
very interesting strategy. They're both going very experimental here. Tflame with the low light strategy, Pwndnoob with the Prince. Look, I understand turning Purloin on instead of Bug because there are some opportunities, especially if you hit a green, but with the Prince, that feels like you're really not going to be able to get those, and so the sniper really only has to watch for 2 missions instead of 3.
Yeah, and Tflame, I think right now could get a bunch of lowlights. When he looked up at the clock, I'm assuming would happen right about now, and he sees that there's a minute 50 left. The people that have been in that conversation the entire game can just get low lit.
Yeah, but he should know that he could have missed that time ad at any point. God, our idle animation there, I keep worrying that it's going to look like a bug because we're really shifting around a lot. But I think Tflame knows that no bug happened. Orange Sari, our seduction target, she's returning the briefcase. Hopefully she enters the conversation next to us, but no, she goes between Taft and Ponytail, very far away. We would not be able to get a very strong flirt here at all.
Yeah, Tflame definitely confident that the bug hasn't happened because it's not on.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot that the bug wasn't on.
I mean, it happens because fingerprint balcony is so rare to see, especially these days when it's an entirely different game mode that doesn't get played because more time and one more guest, I believe.
Oh, here we go. We're entering. I don't know if we're close enough for a 50% flirt with a green. If we hit a green test, we need to get 49%, but we don't. We get the white test anyway. It is 84% now, and we're still going to have to talk again. Only 20 seconds. There's the contact. Highlight comes on to us for it. That's going to make it very hard to get one last flirt, but Tflame isn't shooting anyone else. Orange Sari enters the conversation. She's talking. Ponytail is talking now. Brought back up to a highlight. Tflame has no clue who it is. No shot going to be coming off. We try to enter to get that flirt, but we don't make it. Orange Sari leaves. We have to chase to windows instead, and we couldn't get there in time. Oh, even if we entered the conversation, I don't know if we would have gotten a flirt off before overtime. Very good hold from Tflame.
Yeah, that's also one of the big things when bug is off. You can't last minute for if you don't have your floor.
Yeah, exactly. If bug is on, there's always something you can do in the last 10 seconds to ensure that you get your missions complete. But we couldn't. Oh, man. That's tragic, but also just a very good hold from Tflame. I mean, an extra 45 seconds on the clock. Everyone was highlit. Everyone had been talking. He clearly had no clue which person was the spy, or at least it doesn't look like he did, but he still had the courage to hold. Very well done.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that, the score is now 6-4 for Tflameee. He didn't get the sweep of balcony, but he did get one win, which means he is now on match point. Just going to need to pick up one win here on gallery. Gallery was Pwndnoob's pick, though. Let's see if he can do it. Let's get started here as Boots in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. Now, I think Pwndnoob is going to be very proficient here at Gallery. It's just a venue that plays into a lot of his strengths. You know, when you consider the flirt pairing that he was able to do on Taeyen, that's something that's even easier to do here if you're looking at conversations. There's only 2 of them. If you want to chase your ST, you have to go all the way to the front, all the way to the back. Same thing for chasing the double agent. So I think Tflamee's going to need to be really on top of his pacing here if he wants to pick up a win. Because if he's obviously chasing people down, Pwndnoob can notice that.
Yeah, it is a little bit tougher on gallery. Just so many people to watch.
But all we have so far is that first flirt, 17%, because the seduction target was across the conversation from us, but we didn't have to chase them for it, so it's not too bad. Now the seduction target is out in front, and it looks like we're going to be heading out there as well. We want to get this flirt done ASAP. Very good move on gallery.
Yeah, only having 17% flirt kind of means you got to chase them early. Luckily, you're a little bit faster than Kane, so you don't have a lot of worry about them like just running away from you. But going out there and making it 51%, really good.
Yeah, it's basically like we hit a green, but we've kind of spent a minute doing it. I would really like to see a time ad, but with the ambassador here, it's just not the time for it. Double agent over here at the paintings. The ambassador still outside. Can't go for that time ad. I mean, I really think we need it. I think Tflameee should be considering a time ad at this point. There is room next to the seduction target here. Hopefully Wheels doesn't take it. He does. He takes the spot on the other side. I thought we were going to go in for another flirt there, but instead we're going over to the green bookcase. The ambassador was outside distracting the sniper, but now the ambassador is pretty safe. Still a lot of cover from this conversation, so could be a good time for a microfilm. We're not going to do the animation, but we are going to leave with the book, and I don't think Pwndnoob was really focusing on the bookcase, so there is a chance that we got that book out without Pwndnoob really registering it.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really had any reason to be a suspect, I don't think, in Pwndnoob's mind. And when we bounced off that conversation, I think that we might have gotten like forced out of it. I think that Sig and Kane might have just like completely walled us.
Yeah, and there's the green test rate conversation that we were having earlier coming into play. That's 3 flirts, and they've actually all been white tests so far. So if Tflameee really has a 39% green test rate, that is actually on the lower end. Trying to get a low light here by reading this book before picking up the briefcase, that is something that AI will do in the like 2 seconds before they start their briefcase pickup. They will read a book, they will sip a drink, they will just kind of stand there, and they're allowed to do those things. Some snipers will give you a low light for it because it looks AI-like, but Pwndnoob's not going to do that. Now there's a minute left. This is why I thought we needed the time ad. The flirt is dumb. We can put the book in. We can maybe get a contact if the double agent enters. Let's see if they come to us. They're not. This is the moment to go put the book away for sure. Hopefully we don't get shot for it. We're watching the ambassador. He's going to be on his way outside, so we're not watching the bookshelves. But how are we going to finish? We have 30 seconds, and we will need to do some very quick missions. We need to request Toby over, and we need to do a purloin after putting this book away. That seems like a plan to me, but Tflamee's not going for it. 25 seconds. What do you do? It's going to be a purloin over here at the pad instead. Very, very noticeable, though, but Toby has some cover behind the Twin and Disney, and Pwndnoob zooming in on General instead. So now we also go for this bug. The path, pretty noticeable. I think Pwndnoob saw it. He takes a highlight, but it is only a highlight, not enough for a shot. If he was on top of the purloin, he will be shooting the moment this list disappears. It doesn't disappear yet. The clock is holding 0 seconds. Tflameee going over to statues here. That's very interesting. When the beep beeps start from the list being taken, we will be at statues. But because we don't have any other inspects and no swap is going off, it won't look like we're the spy. How long is this purloin going to be going for? Going for ages. The overtime beeps start. Pwndnoob looks like he's considering it, but he actually takes the shot on Pearls. It looked like it was lining up on us, but it wasn't. That was the most heart pumping overtime of all time, probably for Tflameee even more than me. But he gets the win in the end. That was match point, and that is a 7-4 victory for Tflameee. Congratulations.
Yeah, extremely impressive there. You see, he goes to statues. Pwndnoob knows that the overtime has, or the hanging clock has nothing to do with the statue because it's hanging before we pick it up. So he knows it's a time ad or it's a purloin, and he just does not suspect Boots for that purloin.
No, and if you go back and look at the moment of that purloin, it was at about 20 seconds. Toby is honestly mostly covered. I mean, Toby's a low light. The twin is in front of him. And we were just watching general for basically a swap there. So I don't think the purloin was registered. The bug path, it was definitely a path, but looking at it now, how much of the arm is visible? Man, it looks like Seek is giving us cover there as well with his briefcase return, and our arm just goes right inside the ambassador, highlight for the path. And then just to be a bit more clear about what Tflame was doing there in the overtime, because I was a little bit frazzled at the moment when it was happening. When the clock is hanging like that at 0, there will always be 10 seconds of the overtime beeps when missions are finished. So in this case, the clock holds at 0 and it's going to start beeping when the list disappears, or sometimes the clock can be holding at 0 because someone did a green time ad. So if someone did a green time ad and then they finish, by inspecting statues, you'll hear the beeps while they are at the statues. But we went and did the statues, we put them down, no beeps started, so it's clear that we're not finishing with inspects. And also, generally, a spy who's waiting for the purloin to go off with the clock hanging isn't going to just go
Boy,
do statues like that. It's just such a weird choice. So it really all came together.
yeah, I mean, most spies are gonna want to avoid any mission sites when overtime beeps start, just because you don't want to give them some false reason to shoot you.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine if the overtime beep started from the purloin while we were at the statues, and then imagine the sniper doesn't notice the purloin and they just think, oh, Boots is finishing inspects, we'll shoot her. But of course, he would know that she wasn't finishing inspects because she didn't have any at the start, so there wouldn't be any beeps from her going to statues. So I mean, it was just a very complicated situation. I completely understand why Pwndnoob wasn't on top of it there, and it was just very well played from Tflame. He really earned that match point.
Yeah, also well played throughout this tournament. Pwndnoob is joining us now. GG's.
GG's.
So the third person in a row to go down to Tflame. How you feeling about the set?
So I'm gonna forefront my saltiness with T-Flames played out of his mind,
He
not
really
only
is.
in this set, uh, but in the other sets too against Yerend and Yeesh. And congratulations to him and good games.
Um,
That being said, my AI luck was infuriating, and by the time that we reached that last gallery game, I'm just so furious about the other games that I wasn't ready to snipe it.
um, yeah, it seems like, man, that set was fairly long, and I feel like it was probably exhausting for both of you. Talk to me about being. It was 2-2, and then you're down 5-3 coming out of your doubled modern.
Yeah, so the sniper loss, I mean, I low lit the spy. Like, he did a really sick play with like a double bounce. So I'm like, I'm fine with that. And then, but the spy game on Modern, I played a really slow game, and Wheels did 2 statues, and I'm like, cool, Wheels is gonna die, and he didn't die. I was like, oh. And then Seek, who went to the bar, and he was standing next to me, and he talked, and I'm like, cool. This has been over a minute, but whatever. I'm gonna go send myself. And both of those players were the suspected double agents. They were the 2 people in the party who I could not frame.
Yeah,
And
that was
then the balcony game happened, and but on the spy side where Orange Dress moved, like I wasn't in any sense guaranteed to win that. It was the exact same situation I just shot for actually, but uh, I'm so furious about those 2 spy games that on that gallery game. I was kind of surprised I didn't play more aggressively and just low light everybody or something stupid. Because I wasn't in the right mindset at all.
What are you referring to when you said orange dress moved there?
I was trying to flirt in literally the last second, and she moved with 2 seconds left.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I thought you were talking about when you were a sniper.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, I mean, T-Flame spooked me at the beginning because he was taking shots and getting reads early that I couldn't really figure out. Uh, like on the Modern game in particular, where he's just already staring me at bookcase. I'm like, what did you see?
Yeah,
Uh,
that definitely. He was. It seemed like he was really suspicious of actually pearls at that bookcase because she like zero cycled and left
yeah,
um,
as a low light,
as your seduction target too.
yeah, it doesn't help.
But
Yeah, I
that,
mean, T-Flame's gonna have his work cut out for him. I don't actually know what that phrase means, but he's gonna have his work cut out for him against Opie, who's also just been completely destroying people, including this morning. But he played really well, and it's just like I think that I kept it close was impressive, but that the thing is, it's just like those few marginal things. This is the most frustrated I've been after a game, and I'm trying not to just be a bad loser.
I mean, hey, you played well. T-Flame just, I feel like, is playing very, very well right now.
Yeah, and that's like everything I'm complaining about is not T-Flame related. It's just like the beats of Spy Party because this
Sure.
game is I mean, he probably would have shot me on balcony. Like that's the reality is he was playing very well. He was on everything. He would have shot me on balcony, but I'm still mad I didn't get the opportunity to uh, do the last second flirt like Yeesh did or whatever.
Yeah, and it's just another case of where we see that competitive, high-level competitive spy party hinges on so little. There's little moments where if they went the other way, it could change the entire outcome of a set, and that just happened a few times, as you were saying, with kind of bad party luck.
Yeah, I was really happy with my sniper play for the majority. Like all my snipes, uh, I felt like I was looking at a spy who was played a good game and I was getting the shot off, and it should be a good cast to rewatch.
Yes, well, thank you for joining us for the interview. At this point, we'll pull up the bracket here and take a look. We're going to be heading into the finals, which will be T-Flame versus Opie Rights. We're going to return for that later this afternoon, sometime after 6 p.m. Eastern. So within a few hours, we'll make another announcement on the Discord. Um, on the Spy Party Discord. I'll throw something up on Twitter as well. Um, and then we also have another tournament that will be airing at I think 2:30 p.m. Pacific. So in a couple hours from now, it is the Hidden Cup in which the players are playing under aliases, so no one knows who their opponent is. Again, so that'll be at about 2 or 2:30 PST, and then we're going to wrap up the finals of this bracket with T-Flame versus Opie Rights sometime after 6. The Hidden Cup will be on twitch.tv/SpyPartyFans. And don't
Yeah.
forget to throw this channel a follow, turn on notifications. The only things that will notify you on this channel, we only stream just live tournament gameplay. So good channel to follow and turn on notifications for. Joining me on cast today was Dells and Monatters. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us. These are
Thank you for having me.
some pretty exciting sets to see.